At least in my opinion, MGBs didn't offer much in the world, but the one thing that they did offer in 1972 and a little bit further was the locking choke cable, the T-handle, and you can twist it and it locks, and it is a kind of a great thing. I've had this on a couple of cars that you're not really supposed to have them on, but I don't care who likes it or doesn't. So I'm going to put her here in the Bonneville and drill a hole in the dash and make it so no, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. This is for the TR4, the original choke cable. Mixture control, actually, is this little round thing, and it's kind of cool. It gives you the little choke mechanism. Isn't that precious? Well, we don't like that. We like this. And this works a whole lot better, and it will take a little bit of doing. I'm going to take the dash out and do all that. Okay, enough about this car. I'm going to have to do this. I don't really want to put that down there because I'm afraid it'll stay in the seats. So let's get back to this. I am going to today fit the intake manifold, and it's sure dark. What is it? It's just afternoon. Guess it's gotten cloudy, huh? I'm going to fit that, I hope, and get this going, I hope. Let's see what these do. I believe a man could leave those in there, but I am not going to. I must tell you that I am just shy about this stuff anymore. I just think that's causing a bump, and I think it's glued on there good enough. So we're going to have to put some silicone, the fuel resistant stuff here, the ultra gray here, the ultra red there, and the ultra blue fuel resistant there, and we're going to set that on there. We are going to get our bolts and put in there, which I have already keyed, and we're going to close this up, I hope, and fit that silly O-ring. Good Lord, I can't believe that O-ring thing. Oop, kind of caught there. Let's get the goo going. Ready to go right there. Well, I have the blue goo here, the red goo there, and the gray goo there. I just finished. So I've blown out the intake manifold. I've cleaned out the little part I'm going to talk about in a minute. So let's go get it and put it on there. So if you grab it right and you get lucky, you put it right there and you kind of contemplate where you're going. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand in there. Let's see if I can do that and not drop this thing. And if you see me, then I'll just have to edit that out. So I just want you to see that I'm getting in. Precariously perched there on. Uh-oh, my little hiney's stuck. Okay, so let's just, this don't feel exactly good yet. So I'm going to stand on this cross beam, get the transmission lines out of my psyche there. Oh, okay. So it looks to me like we're going to go right there. A little bit forward, not much, just a little bit. I don't think that's going to cause any damage. Okay. Now I got all my feathers numbered right there, like I told you I was gonna do. And let's just get a couple of them in there. Well, I probably want to get some washers. I thought about it and I didn't do it. So you just hang right there, okay? And we'll just be editing away. 1, 2, 3, 12. All right, I wanted to show you this. I've got everything in there, so that works real good. So be sure and keep your stuff numbered. Now you want to put if you got an Edelbrock like this, you want to put this on here. and sort out where you are. And I'm going to take you off of here, and I'm going to walk you around and maybe do a little assembly while we're doing it. So the reason you want to fit your carburetor is because, or just set it there, is because you got to put this here. Let's back off a little bit. Okay, so there you go. Here we are right here. So put that there because this is your return spring. I don't know how many cars I fixed in my life that that's all it took. Just a little bit of a return spring. They'll be idling high, and you might have some other problems. But generally, it's that funky idle can just be a simple spring or carbon. Okay, carbon build up there. Okay, got it. Let's move on. You've got to put this linkage on here. This is, of course, your throttle linkage, and there's something amiss there. I don't know what it is. Well, maybe there's not. So I will tell you something I just found that that is very interesting to me. I don't know how long it's been there. I guess since a couple of years before I owned the car. But way down back here, I heard something go clink on the ground because I've been moving the gearbox around so much, and I've been up in there, so I don't really know how it happened. So you'll see I have multiple rods, and I know that one's not right, but this is one that was on there. What's in there? Oh, it's a piece of magnet. Okay, well, so I know that's not right, but this is what fell out of the car, this right here. So you know that's not the original kind of linkage. That's sort of an aftermarket. Find this on British cars and stuff like that. I did not do this. So it's always been that way. But these are American types of connecting rods, as it were. And so the original rod apparently just... what is this thing? Oh, look at that. There's a little piece of magnet right there. It's driving me insane. Well, we'll put it right here and we'll never see it again, probably. Okay. So, I bet you it's adjusted perfectly. Maybe. Maybe not. So that goes here. Wonder where the gas pedal is. So you got to look at your gas pedal. Is it on the floor? Yeah, it is. So, this kind of makes me nervy because, so this will connect here and go there. And so there's that rod that has been riding around apparently on top of the transmission for 15 or 20 years, it looks like. And this is your kick down one. I guess that goes, yeah, see that, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Oh no. Well, I don't know. Well, we can't put it around because it's not bolted. But that was sort of a cool thing of the day right there, finding that. Actually, I kind of remember, although I see these, the one that was on there, I see these on all kinds of vehicles. I actually see them on lawnmowers now and then too. So, anyway, that's wrong. Don't go there. So, let's see. We've got a torquing spec, and that is your, at least in my case, that's kind of a weird pattern, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess it's not so weird if you think about it. Usually you start in the middle, though, but I guess there's not a middle. So you would have to start right there. Okay, so... all right, and those go to, in my case, you may vary here, intake manifold, 30 to 45 pound-feet. Okay, so let's get these things here. So I feel like the spring's in the right place, and I don't really have a picture of that anymore since I did. But got hacked, so all of that's gone now. And I don't think there's going to be too many other videos out there to help a guy like me doing a thing like this. So let's take that spacer off. Now I sanded that down cleaned it and flattened it, and it took a while. Also on another lost video, just had to do it. And my other gaskets are down in that Schaefer bucket. So this thing, I don't know if there were two of these. If there were, that's okay, but I only happen to have one. I do know that that goes there, and probably not going to worry with that right now, but it goes right there to hold sparking wires. And I also know that this goes right here to hold the wires that go to the alternator that's right here. Will be right there, and we will we'll fit that later too. So these do not pass through. There's no air suction going on there, so I'm not worried about those right yet. So just wanted to remind everybody that there will be more. It is stifling hot out here. Almost can't breathe, but I want to get this thing. I want to get this motor closed up, and that's just what I'm going to do today. So let's just take that off of there. So I checked everything multiple times. Let's cinch everything down, and we'll follow our tightening reference. Now this is the thing that I'm talking about right here. I'm probably going to put that in right now in a minute, and let the silicone. Let's just put this. I put it here, didn't I? Just hang it right there. There you go. I got to press this into that, and I got to get. I think those are identical. So this is the O-ring of leakage future, and that goes right in there. So let's get some gray silicone and just sort of rest that right there, and then you won't have to worry about forgetting it. Okay. One down, one to go. Another town, one more show. Okay, let's see if I got you soaked in there already. Okay, so I'll tell you what you do. You're going to end up changing the sockets a whole lot to get reach on things. The thermostat housing's in the way. Might not, should have put it on, but who cares? I'm not taking it off now, and you'll run into the same thing back there with the distributor on number 11 in the back there. So I put this down to like 220 inch-pounds, 16 to 20 pound-feet, whatever, somewhere in there. Tighten them all down. Go get a drink of Gatorade, and they'll all be loose. So you got to keep going around and around and around. She goes. So just kind of for the fun of it, this is number one. Let's see how far it goes. See, look at that. You got to just keep going around and going around, and come on, give me that clip. Come on, give me that, give me. There you go. Come on, baby. Well, that one really came loose. Okay, so you get the point. They're just going to work their way loose. Put blue Loctite on every one of those. The middle ones, as we saw, don't really go anywhere, but the outside ones do. There's no water passing. It's not like the Kubota engine where you take a manifold bolt out and it comes spitting out at you. You notice I didn't say the other word. It's so tiresome. So anyway, we're going to go around, and around, and then we're going to put this thing in. I've got that gasket down there that I spoke of with some gray silicone in it. And so, just so you just don't forget it. That's funny. Blue even said, "Mr. Bobby, did you put that gasket in between the intake manifold and the cam cover, the crank cover housing, Mr. Bobby?" And I said, "I did." So that was a good long time ago now. So let's go around her one more time. Well, maybe two more times, maybe three more times, because I'm not going to have any problems here. I'm just not. We're not going to have it. Okay? May joy be unconfined. Everybody's got to make up their own minds on how to do this. This is the way I like to do it. If you want to put some gray in there, you can, around the rim. And Mr. Solo had a pressing matter. Okay, we got a bearing and some kind of fancy tool I had that I broke apart one time to do something with, and then I used that. I don't know, this thing here, it had teeth in it at one time. Now I should not need to do much more than what I got all this fancy gas down here. I got some 110 octane leaded racing fuel, and she's got to have it, that's all. Alright, and then we just gently, I'm gonna have to hold this down. Wish I had a piece of wood to put right there. Let's just see if she'll go. Nope. I'm gonna have to put something right here. I got that 2x4 in there, 1 3/4 by 3 1/2, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to show you all this because some of you may not know it, but a lot of people, that's your standard shim in the world. You should use your shims this way when you're doing something, if you can do it. You want them to do that so they stay equal. Okay, so we're going to be... Alright, so here we go again. So we got that... What's wrong here? Alright, I know I'm not a photographer. Alright, so look at that. See that seal? And it's going in there. And that seal's got rubber around the edges, but I don't care. Well, she ain't gonna go flat. And I'm not gonna break this thing. That's for doggone sure. Let's just see what we've got here. So... try to use those shims in a crossing manner. There's an old bearing, probably out of a Lexus. And here is this tool that I had that did something in the end of the day. Let's just see how this turned out. Not too good. What we'll do then is we'll turn it around this way and do it. Okay, you don't need to see any more than this. But when I can... on these things, I don't do like a lot of guys and just beat hell out of them. I try to put them in with a little finesse anyway. I don't know where Sean is. I hadn't heard from him in a week. Boom! Like a meteorite, he will appear, I can assure you. And he's got a grader out there, so he's got to come see me. Unless he sneaks in the middle of the night. Alright, so... oh, come on. Alright, let's get back there and get that seal in there right. Alright. I'm going to go around one more time on this, and then I'm not going to do any more. I got that in there pretty good. Be sure and put a little lubricant here all the way around in that thing. It won't matter till you put the harmonic balancer in, but go ahead and just do that now, because it's hard to get your finger in there when you got that crankshaft in your way. And just douse it with a little bit of this, and you'll be fine. That noise you hear in the background is a fan, and I'm tired of turning it off all the time, so we just have to have a little background noise. Sorry. So whatever these do, I don't know, but go ahead and get your hardware ready for right here. This is going to be the underside of the oil pan there. And you can tell that I did use a little gray in there. I'll tell you why. You don't have to, but I do, because it sort of glues it into place. I don't think it would pop out of there, but you know, it can't hurt to put a little bit of gray in there. Just don't get it on the edges. So I'm about ready to put on this gasket and this half gasket. You got to get your gray silicone right here. You might want to make sure you don't have too much of a flange like that right there. If I put anything there, I want it to be fresh. Okay, I want it to go down in there and seal. Make sure your little tabs are here. And then go ahead and put your big studs in. Not too many people talk about this, but I will. You'll notice that I think I've talked about this several times, but I'm going to do it again. The longer one goes on the passenger side. That would be the as sitting in the car right side. So just get your big gob of this on there, Now this could be an area, you know, I'm going to put some more on that. That's why I bought this great big nice bottle of this stuff. Anybody will tell you this stuff makes a pretty good sealant. And the reason, and I don't put them in any more than finger tight, and reason for that is I just don't want to run any risk of any problems. They'll tighten up fine. This is not a very high torque situation, but you'll see it in a little while. But the little thing that you can pick up the motor with, so they say, you're not even looking at what I'm doing, so they say, goes on this one. And there was another hook back there, but I'm not putting it on. Be sure and smear a little bit. It'd be better if I had you guys looking at what I was doing. Be sure and smear a little bit right there when the time comes. So get your, you got to kind of do this quick, because this ultra gray sort of dries quickly. I'm going to go ahead. What in the hell's going on out there? All right, farmers. Those farmers are something else, aren't they? So I'm going to go ahead and smear the gray on this and put it there, and because you can tell that hole right there is going to line up with those. You want to put a little gray on this, put it on the block, so you won't pinch these over. So what I mean by that, if you're new to this, I have to, people, they don't know. So you want to get this on here and get it. Well, there's a problem. It's always something, isn't it? Well, almost fits. That, my friends, is the incorrect gasket. Felpro strikes again. I didn't even look at that. Wait a minute, what's going on here? It fits here. Oh, maybe it's the nut behind the wheel. That being me. Okay. Oh, there must be a right and a left. That must be what I'm doing here. Yeah, there is. I can tell by looking. I kind of forgot that. So, well, don't let that happen to you. I'm going to air that, because we all need to know these things can happen to any of us. Okay, now we're all lining up. See, these things are a little offset. Boy, it's been a long time since I've had this off. See, this one's a little closer to the top. There you go. You can tell by looking that way. All right. Well, at least I didn't put the gray goo on the wrong side. So, but the reason I was saying this, then you can get your little tabulars right there, and then you got that in the right place. You got your heart in the right place. What is that? Oh, blue Loctite from putting in the studs. Okay, so now you know that you want to put your gray on the diesel side of here. So everything's tacked on. That's on correctly. The lower gasket's on, and now we're ready to scoot this on there. Remember, put a little bit of extra right here, and remember, put your little bead right there. I forgot I had done some JB weld work on this. I guess it needed it. I'm sure that it did. So this is the earlier style. It doesn't have the little rubber gaskets in here. They did that later on. So we're ready to set this into place. So have all your 7/16, half, and 9/16 ready to go. Have your blue Loctite ready to go, and all that other stuff. And there's that little eyelet I was telling you about. Goes right there. And then we got that special piece of hardware there. And this does have a side. You do have to know which way it goes. So I think it does. I kind of remember somebody saying that, and when I powder coated it, I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. If I need to turn around, I will. But just remember, if it doesn't fit right, that this thing is not symmetrical. Okay, you can sort of tell by looking at it. So don't trust anything, especially if you did it. like I like to say. All right, let's just work here, and I'll show you what it looks like in the end. It's pretty simple. So 1, 2, 3 trouble spots. 1, 2, 3, and the rest you just kind of smear on. And like I like to do, I like to just finger tighten everything, and then go in the house, get some ice and some Gatorade, and come back later and cinch it up, and then let the oxygen sort of get to the ultra gray. Once again, you got to just go over everything multiple times and make sure everything's good and tight. And you walk away from it, come back, it'll be loose. Just the sooner you realize that, the better. See, I didn't forget my gray right there. I got my pan here. I got everything tight here. I got everything lubricated in there and tight at those 4 bolts across the bottom. I got these tight, and I feel like that's driving me crazy. Every time I see it move, I have very, very weird peripheral visions too, I guess. And so I feel like we're ready to go in with a gasket, my pan here, and then another gasket, and then the super cool, what do they call it, coolerator? I can't remember what they call it, cool or something. Flow cool flow, I don't know. The only thing she loves is a Romeo. Okay, whatever it is. So let's get the rest of this on here, and I'll put the balancer on it, and then I'm going to call this one quits. Okay, so water pump's on and everything. I was going to show you this little thing here. See, if you try to put this on this way, it sort of cocks funny. You can tell it's off. And see, it just lays right in like that. Oop, I'm not even showing you, am I? Okay, let's go again. So it doesn't really lay so well that way. So it's my belief that it just goes better. Yeah, you can kind of feel it lock into place there. So she goes that way. Let's get some kind of washer on that thing. And just stick with me here. Alright, and then I've got blue Loctite. It's like a sea of blue. A calm blue ocean. Okay. And if you don't have this, you're going to run the risk of having a leak right there. So what do you think that is? I don't think that's half, is it? Nah, it's 7/16. Why not take all of me? Okay. Ooh, come on, baby. There you go. Little bit of persuasion there. And then we're going to just go around this. I'm going to go up to the house. There you go. See, it just sort of... I don't know if that's true on all of them. It's true on this one. It just fits better that way. And we're not going to tighten it up too tight, because I'm waiting on that to kind of cure out a little bit. So we're going to let that... Ooh, baby, that feels good. Ooh, baby. All right, and it is a flow cooler, not coolerator, crammed with TV dinners and ginger ale. Okay, the old ginger. All right, I think I'm about done. We have reached somewhat of a milestone here. We have our opportunity to fit our plugs. So I'm going to do that, and here's the flavor I use. I think that's what it calls for on this thing. And whatever yours calls for, they torque them down to, if you got the tapered kind, you got you got the crushable thing, 20, 25 pound-feet, whatever you think, gap them to 30, 35 thousandths. I've got it back up at top dead center. Now remember, if you spin this motor around expecting to see all kind of happy rockiness, you're not going to see very much. You will see some, because these are hydraulic lifters, so you won't see a lot of dancing around there. When the motor's, you're just spinning it by hand, I should say. So let's put the plugs in it. Don't use any Loctite on that. Actually, might be a good, I don't know, some guys, they say don't do that. I'm going to put a little dab on there. Just makes me feel better. Old motor, can't hurt. Just don't over it, just a little dollop. Oh, what's that doing there? So pretty much going to be closing her up here real soon. All right, we have tightened up all the way around. I've got a little dab of semi-synthetic assembly lube ready to put the harmonic balancer on. So I'm going to probably need 2 hands to do that. So just hang on a second. We'll get right to it. I don't think I can make this work this way. Okay, well let's get the Flexzilla, and we're gonna give her a little winky winky on there, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up. Looks like the perfect repair because I got 1 washer left, and I don't know where it goes, and I think that's the roll pin out of the distributor. So you know you're doing good when you got a couple of pieces left over. I think the air's turned off, but I believe it's at full throttle. Okay, so let's put that there. Y'all get to see some of my tool stuff. Well, I'm going to tighten that up and I'm going to call it a day. I got a little bit of yellow tape and the happy goo. There's some happy goo right there on that. So when the time comes, I am in no hurry here. I've got to get the exhaust manifolds on. I'm going to do that before I do much of anything else. So she does need to sit for a while. And I think I got my break-in thermostat in there. That's right. And because I'm going to just kind of make sure it flows good. And I don't want a stuck thermostat when I'm warming this thing up. So, all right. Well, that'll be it. Give me a thumbs up. And chomp that like button. And subscribe and share. And all that stuff. I don't know how to thank you for spending some time with me. Makes this a lot of fun. It adds a lot of time to it, but I'm in no hurry, and I'm having a blast. So we'll talk to you tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be around here tomorrow. I was remembering that brake line. Okay, well, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Have a good evening. It's almost 4:30. Holy cats. Time to go in before the sun gets too much hotter. Bye-bye.